the Focused Warrior podcast, the John and Aaron experience, bro. Another season. Welcome to the new season in 2025, our very first episode in 2025. And, bro, it feels weird saying that. We're January 25 and respectively January 26 where you are. And, bro, it's weird that it took this long in January, but rightfully so. And I know we'll get into it, brother. But how you doing, man?
Doing really well. Oh, happy Australia Day to all my Aussie followers and to those in America, our American followers and listeners. We celebrate. It's a little bit like the Independence Day. So we celebrate Australia Day.
Okay.
Very divisive here in Australia at the moment and what that actually means. But where I come from, obviously being a Kiwi, but living in Australia for 25 years, where I'm coming from in this moment, this day, is celebrating what we have. Like celebrate the good shit. Celebrate that we're able to do whatever we want to do. And they call it the lucky country, but I mean, I'm not going to get all political about the bullshit. All I'm looking at is today's a day of celebration, whatever that means for you. Celebrate whatever that is. So I'm good, man. It's a beautiful day. Here to have an amazing conversation with my brother from another mother and welcoming in what seems already nearly a month down in 2025. But I'm fucking here for it, man. I'm here for it. So, how are you, brother?
Dude, I'm doing good, Aaron. I just, we don't do, for those that followed us for a while, Aaron and I used to talk offline for about a good hour before we even jump on these, just getting our head space right, talking more details, what we want to talk about, what we want to cover. We're not doing that anymore. We're turning on the microphone. We're going now. So you'll
Yeah,
notice
mate.
that in the new season of the Focus Warrior podcast that we're just
Mm.
going. We're letting it flow. However it comes out, hey, you guys take whatever you need to out of it, all the value that we bring, and throw away the rest, right? So,
That's it.
bro,
Yep.
I really want to get into, especially now that we're in this first month, just about wrapped up
Mm.
into January, this year in review. I know a lot of people do that right at the end of the year, right before the new year, because you want to, take the good with the bad. And how did it work for you? Oh, 2024 wasn't my year. 25 is a good year to be alive. All this other. It's like now that we're in 25 and we're, in this case, my case, 25 days in, did you
Mm.
give up already? Are you working harder than ever?
Mm.
So, bro, I want to talk about the year in review. You don't have to go month by month, bro, but I have some highlights from 24 and some lowlights. What about you, man?
Damn, I'm the same. If I even look back at a year, my first thought is, holy fuck, was that only 1 year? Like, it just seems like so
Yeah.
much was compacted in just a short period of
Yes.
time. I mean, I'll start off with the stories. I'll definitely start with, it would have been just before Christmas, 2023. Fuck, that's weird even just saying
Yeah.
that. Yeah, like just before then, I had to pull a deal on a gym that I was trying to buy, and then just my life crumbled from there. Like
Mm.
so much happened. Was literally was told that my employment was severed. I got a little bit of a severance pay, which is nothing. But then all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, that gives me the opportunity to go like really hard on and full on into my online business. But what
Mm.
knew back then to what I know now, it's like I was doing everything, backwards. I was seeking the help of not only some friends around me, people that I saw were successful in the industry or in the online space, seeking guidance and paying money and all this kind of stuff. So to cut a long story short, I learnt a lot of things. I, went all in on a lot of things, made a lot of mistakes, and the biggest thing out of all of that was there was a lot more love that I had for people. There were a lot more lessons, but also along the way there had to be a lot more laughter. So looking into where 2025 is, again, a lot more clarity, a lot more certainty on what I need to achieve. The message now that I'm putting out is a lot more direct, but I think also I'm finding a lot more courage along the way to do the things that I didn't do last year. So I'm really looking forward to where this year's going to go. And it didn't start with I'm going to start Monday or I'm going to start January 1. It didn't start then. It started when I realized that things needed to change. So looking at every single day, how do I get better? Where's that 1% better? Where do I get the courage to say the things that need to be said? In the conversations that I have in my reels now, it's talking about porn, and how detrimental that can be to a man. Talking about where strength training comes in and how we can become better men on an emotional level and the connection there. So I'm becoming a lot more intentional in my message. But I wouldn't have done that if I didn't experience the shit I did last year. So it's
Ooh.
all been pretty incredible. It's been an incredible journey.
Yeah, I love that, man. And it's true, Aaron. I think the biggest thing that will teach you a lesson is when life kicks you in the balls,
Yeah, man.
right?
Yeah, true.
That's the biggest lesson. And that's the thing, Aaron. I don't think people realize, man, is that you're just not ready for it.
Mm.
No one's ever ready for it. It doesn't matter how much you prepare, you're not ready for some of the stuff that happens, man. And even if you're the most prepared possible, life's there to just say, hey, by the way, you're not ready. Here, let me
Yeah,
show you why.
yeah,
Right? I mean, Jim, dude, I remember that gym deal, bro, like it was yesterday.
yeah,
And I remember how much you were reeling. That deal was going to happen. It was going to happen. It's a done deal, John. I'm going all in on it.
yeah.
It's going to happen. I was so excited for you. And then I remember the sound of defeat that you had that day that you let me know that everything crumbled, that you had worked your ass off on for months, and you were on the strength of other people's words and what they were telling you,
Mm.
and you were just, dude, you were moving to the beat of what you thought was your golden ticket. So, bro, it's crazy, right? And I'll just piggyback off of what you're saying, Aaron. Just kind of keep going here, man. Is January 2024, I was in my golden ticket at the time. What I thought was the Colorado Rockies job that I got. I got my hands on a really good job in November of the previous year. I thought I made it. I was done. By the time January of 24 came around, man, I was so miserable, Aaron. I had to do the thing that I had been avoiding the whole time, which was make my online coaching official, an official business, an official company with an official title, and I had to put in the work behind it. So, dude, a highlight along with it's a saying that I said the other day on our live, Aaron, said in order to love well, you must learn to hate well.
Mm.
And dude, I learned that in a mastermind class.
That's bad.
And why I bring that up is because I hated the job that I was in so much that I had to learn to love Focus 20 coaching.
Mm.
I had
Mm.
to learn to love it because that was my only way out. It was crazy. So I was like in my mind going, if I don't start this, it's now or never. I can't be in this job anymore. I hate this job. I need a way out now. And so, bro, January 17, 2024, officially launched Focus 20 coaching.
Yeah,
So I
buddy.
just passed a year. Dude, I'm going to stop right there for a moment, but I learned a lot of lessons in this last year being in business my rookie year. So that's where I'll start, bro. That's one of the first things, one of my highlights of 24, and along with the low light too, man, on what it taught me in the beginning of the year. What about you?
Dude, and I think when we look at starting something new, we're so excited. We're in this moment, but then I think we'll also have the expectation that things are going to just like hit straight away. We're going to get the gold and we're going to get those wins and we're going to get those clients on board. We're going to make all this money straight away. Hey, that's never going to fucking happen. That's not reality. We've got, and I think this is also where I put too much trust or instill too much belief in the stories that I hear from people about their success. But little along the way, I forgot that it probably took them 5 years to get to a point when they launched something to when they all of a sudden started seeing success. I've been following this dude on Instagram from Canada, guy by the name of Brian. They call him the real Brian. I can't even remember his surname to be honest, but he's an online coach. But he started off as a personal trainer. He was doing face to face, was doing quite well, but then he pivoted online. But what you don't realize, and is very honest and very open and authentic and vulnerable about his journey. He says it's taken him years to get to where he's at. He started this thing, and it was all about just being consistent, making sure that all right, well, what am I doing in this moment? Like the consistency of putting out his content every single day. People don't see that, but they see what's happened 6 or 7 years later when he's making $1 million a month, selling his program and coaching other online coaches to become successful. The great thing is that I'm seeing this guy do is I'm seeing him post the content of his clients and what they're getting, and his clients are getting $100,000 months. I'm like, okay, fuck yeah, but that's not an overnight success. And I think what we start to forget is that we're in an instant gratification world. And when we're in an instant gratification world, we expect everything to fucking just click straight away. We don't want to put the effort in. I don't want to do the work for fucking months and months until I start seeing the result. But that's the reality. The reality is
Mm.
that I've got to be consistent every single day for what could be 6 months, 12 months, 2 years before I start getting the reward. I've got to realize that I'm a 55-year-old man. I don't have the sex appeal like a 25-year-old jacked fucking,
Sure.
um, beach boy, blonde, fucking good looking guy. I don't have that sex appeal. So what do I have? I've got to let people know that I've been in the game nearly 30 years.
Mm.
I can show you my experience. And it's up to you and what we're trying to look at is we're just trying to find that hack. We're trying to find that one thing that's just going to work. But the only way to find that out is just to keep going,
Ooh.
learn the mistakes, just keep pushing. And you can't give up. You can't quit. Like this is, when you're in your own business, this is going to have to be a long game. And I think I realized that last year, or probably I've realized that in the last couple of years. But I think also when you launch something different. And I went more on my online content last year than I probably have ever in the entire time that I've either been on Instagram or anything like that. So I've got to remind myself that, and you say it really, really well, is like you want to just show up every day. It's like don't be concerned about the likes, don't be concerned about if it worked or it didn't work. It's like just you put it out there, good, move on, next. And when you're so concerned about the numbers or you're worrying about the result that you don't get, you lose track of the real reason why we started what we started. So yeah, in a kind of like a long way and a long-winded answer, it's just never quit. Always look at the long game. Always look at the reason why you started this thing in the first place.
Yeah, 100%, man. Because I'll tell you what, a year later in the business for me, Aaron, and it's just taught me a lot, man, in this entire year where I came out of the gate firing, man. I actually secured two clients back-to-back months, feeling really good. Thought, like you say, man, I thought it was just going to start flowing like
Mm,
wine, man. I was just going to get client after client after client. Got my first two and then didn't get another one after that. Then I started realizing. See, this is the thing, man. This is where you talk about, Aaron, is that same fire you had day one that you launched, you got to have it day 90, day 120, day 180, and so
mm,
on, right?
mm,
Because if you don't, the second you don't get clients, the second you start to struggle, you'll go to hell with it. I'm done. I didn't work. And bro, I'll be honest with you, man. So my first year in business, right, saw me have two more jobs because obviously the Rockies job did not pan out. I ended up getting just a safe job after that because more of the mindset of that my business was going to grow. So maybe I just needed to supplement it with a day job. And that was my mindset going into the middle of the year.
mm,
So took a less paying job. Turned out, Aaron, that I struggled even worse because I really wasn't getting clients in my business and the money that I was making wasn't enough.
mm,
So it was in that moment, Aaron, the lesson that I picked out of there, man, is that I realized that I was worth more. My time was worth more. My value that I had to offer was more. And the people that I was currently working with weren't seeing that. Well, who's going to see it, Aaron, right? The only people that are ever going or the ever only person that's going to see it is you.
mm, mm.
Until you prove it to others that you really are legit and that you are showing up as the person that you say you are, no one's going to believe it, man. And like you say, it's a lonely road. Well, it's a lonely road because you're the only one on the journey because you're the only one that believes it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, everybody starts with zero clients.
Yep.
Everybody starts with zero money when they start their business. So that was the middle of my year, man. So I'm breaking it up into kind of sections of the year, man. But that was the second part of my year, and then I'll leave the last part, for when we kind of wrap up here, man. But what else you got?
For me, it's the and some people ask you, it's like, when was that pivotal moment that you realize, again, your worth, or you realize like you were crystal clear? I can't answer that because for me, I look at, I ask myself three questions every single week and every single day, unconsciously: what worked, what didn't work, what needs to change. Another three questions I constantly keep asking myself. These are the three questions I ask my clients when it comes to their training program and their progress. What worked, what didn't work, what needs to change. And when you really look at, all right, cool, yeah, I've put in all the work, I've put in all the effort, but I received no result. But hang on, did you really? Or if you did, if you did put in the effort like you said you did, what was the message? Was it clear enough? Did it actually hit your I guess your followers? Did it Was it in a space of you're just putting content out for the sake of putting content out, or were you very intentional in the message you're putting out? So
Mm.
for me, for me moving forward, it's like, hey, I've moved into a new place, which I'm really excited about. But you know what? The work starts all over again. This is like a rebuild stage. Now I've got to make sure that I've got the I'm putting in the work to get the money to pay for the rent, not only in my new place, to pay for the rent in the gym. It's like, if I'm not making the phone calls, which I fucking hate, I don't suck at, I just hate sitting on the phone for 3 hours at a time, just constantly calling people. Out of those 3 hours that you're constantly making phone calls, you might only get to speak to 10 out of making
Mm.
75 to 100 calls. But out of those 10, what's the conversation? Is the conversation, engaging enough that the people that you're speaking to want to come and have a conversation with you face to face? And out of that, you might get seven that will just rock up. Yeah, you may make 10 appointments, but only seven will rock up. But out of those seven, again, were you present in the moment? How did the conversation go? So I look at it from a numbers perspective. I look at going, all right, if this is my end result, if this is the dollar amount I want, if this is the amount of conversations I need to have per week, then what do I need to do to get those numbers? Well, I need to make the phone calls. If I'm not having conversations with people, I'm not going to have people in front of me. So my everyday is, what do I need to do more of to in order for me to get to where I need to be? I can't speed up time. All I can look at doing is, I can look at going, what's the effort and what's the things, what are the actions I'm doing in order for me to achieve what I need to achieve. The success will come when the person I'm speaking to sees the value in what I'm offering. And I need to
Yes.
also look at doing that. I can offer a lot of value. I've got a lot of experience behind me, but at the same time, when you have a look at the conversations you're having with people, people know that I've got to give you money, right? And when anyone spends money, it's like, what's my return? So if I turn around and say, this is what it's going to cost per session, they need to already have an idea in their head on the return on their investment. The return on their investment is making sure they get in the body or the mindset or whatever it is that I'm coaching them on quicker than they would do on their own. They need to
Mm.
see me as a support. So yeah, for me, it's like, all right, what do I need to get better at? Hey, I'm not perfect. I still have a lot of things to learn. And that's why I'm like a real sponge at the moment. But at the same time, I'm very intentional in what I need to do in the moment. And I'm not in a desperate mindset. Like, in other words, the desperation is not that I expected the result yesterday. The result will come as long as I'll continually put in the effort in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, good call, man. One of the things that I just thought of when you said that was you want to be, and I learned this again in mastermind class, you want to be transformative, not informative. Here's what I
Mm,
mean by that, Aaron. Anybody can go get information off of Google. Anybody can type in chat GBT and get
yeah.
exactly what they need in information. Now, transformation is human driven. In order to get a transformation, yes, you can follow these informative steps to the T and still not see any result. You
Mm,
know why? Because you need that person or persons to be able to, you need to be able to hear their heart, number one,
mm.
right? So, Aaron, you being in the fitness game for 30 years, I know if I talk to you, you're talking to me with passion, with authority, with really wanting to see me succeed as your client.
100% right.
Chat GPT, Google is
Yeah.
only saying, hey, go do this and you'll lose 15 pounds.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
How does that excite me, Aaron? That doesn't excite me at all, brother. right? That's the X factor in what guys like you and I are in this space for.
Yeah.
I'm here to transform your life. I'm here to change your life forever. That's it. That's the bottom line. And there's no more fluff in what I say. People tell me what I do. I transform lives. I transform your mindset. This is where we start. Are you ready? Let's go. And dude, that right there, it definitely touches at heartstrings because then people go, but why are you qualified, Aaron? Well, let me tell you, I have 30 years of experience, and here's what I've seen works, and here's what doesn't work. Let's talk about your goals, and let's see if we can fit you into one of my programs. No different than me. I am on a forever grief journey. I was at my darkest of my dark, my low of my low. I had a bottle next to me for 4 months where I was just pounding away at the alcohol every day, hoping that I wouldn't wake up, but I made it out. I'm still here. I miss my son every single day. He's looking up at
Mm,
me right here, right now. And you know what, brother? I got myself out of it by asking for help and by doing the things that I didn't want to do, which was going and seeking the help that I needed. I'm now that safe space for people. That's the kicker. That's the X factor, and that's something that Google will not give you. You can
mm.
go find all the information you want. And if that's what you want, I wish you the best. And you know what? I love you just the same. But if you're really looking to transform your life, that's what guys like you and I do, brother.
Fucking love that, man. And what a way to end our first like new season episode, whatever episode we're at. Oh, who's counting at the moment?
80 plus, but new season,
Yeah,
bro. New
yeah,
season,
100%.
season 2025. We'll call it that.
100% new season. And I love that. I'm just going to piggyback really, really quickly off that. The first thing a lot of people struggle with is asking for help. And the second one, the new space where I'm coming from, and I heard that in what you just said then, is that we're the accountability coaches. We can tell you all the things
Mm,
that we need to do, but in order for you to do it, we've got to hold you accountable. And that's the second thing a lot of people don't like being told what to do. So if you face those fears, you face those hard things with asking for help when you know you need it, and seek the guidance and the accountability from someone who's been there and experienced everything that you're wanting to go through. So, man, I just say for people, it's like just fucking let it go, and just go all in
yes.
because there's something better for you on the other side of that. So,
Hell
yeah,
yeah,
man,
my brother. That's badass, dude. Badass, man.
fucking love this.
Love it.
Great conversation, man. Mandy will be very happy with us.
I agree. Shout out to my beautiful wife. Yes, she will.
Yeah, I hope, hey, man, she better be listening to these episodes. So, dude, we need more fans. We know we've got people listening to us, and it's like I think the biggest thing that I want to end with here as well is that we know we've got people that are listening to this. We know that people when they're listening to this, they're either laughing with us, they have the experience, they've got value from any conversation, anything that we're saying. What I want you to do is I want you to leave a review or even just share. Share it with someone who you think's going to, get some benefit from our conversation. That's the only way we're going to get out there to the wider world for more people to listen to our stories, listen to our experience and how we're attacking the world. So just do us a favor.
Share this show. I love it, brother. Well, hey, man, until next week,
Next week, my
enjoy
man.
Australia Day, whatever that looks like for you, man. Hey, by the way, what does that look like, man? They do like fireworks, they do parties. What do they do out there?
Well, if you're looking at the Australian government or any council, like, the old woke has turned to shit, so they don't celebrate Australia Day. Like the councils, no shit.
Uh-oh. I
They
think I
don't
touched the
celebrate.
nerve, bro.
We got political. They don't celebrate Australia Day. In other words, there's no parades, there's no fireworks. So it's up to the people. So the people are, proudly flying the Australian flags. We're going to the beach, we're having barbecues, and we're just hanging and having a good time with people. That's what it's all about. You
Cool.
know?
Cool. At the end of the day, man, quality relationships. I like it. Let's end
Yeah.
with that, bro.
Yeah. Love it,
All
brother.
right, amigo. Well,
Appreciate you, man.
until next week, hey, man, thanks again for everything. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and look forward to this new season. I'm super excited. So thank you, brother. Love you, man.
Good night, people.